Tyrod Taylor has been stabbed in the lung by a team doctor, lost his job to 2 rookie quarterbacks, lost his job to Nathan Peterman, been knocked out by a number of injuries, broken a ton of Bills records, and won a Super Bowl ring backing up Joe Flacco. Tyrod Taylor has had one of the most weird and most unlucky careers in NFL history. Nothing makes sense looking at Tyrod Taylor's career. But first, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Also, smack that like button so YouTube actually helps us push out this video. The Houston Texans were supposed to be the worst team in the NFL without Deshaun Watson, but Tyrod Taylor changed that early. He led the Texans to a victory in Week 1 and had Houston tied with the stout Browns at the half on Sunday, but then it went south. Tyrod suffered a hamstring injury on a rollout, ending his day and his hot start in Houston. There were a lot of people, including myself, that weren't that surprised when Tyrod started off the year hot. He's always been a good player on the field, but has managed to get more unlucky than really anyone in NFL history. Tyrod played for the Los Angeles Chargers in 2020, where he led them to a Week 1 win despite suffering broken ribs. Not ideal, I know, but he was still supposed to play the following week. This is probably the most bizarre football injury of our lifetime here. I feel like we didn't spend enough time talking about how Tyrod Taylor lost his starting job because a team doctor stabbed him in the lung before a game. Yeah, that's right. While trying to administer a painkiller shot, instead he got stabbed in the wrong spot and it completely collapsed his lung. So instead of playing that day, Tyrod spent the night in the hospital with difficulty breathing, and Justin Herbert took over as the starting quarterback. Before Los Angeles, Tyrod helped the Cleveland Browns not lose their first regular season game in over 20 months, although it was just a tie. 2 weeks later, Tyrod suffered a concussion, which prompted Baker Mayfield to come into the game and later become the permanent starter. The year prior, Tyrod led the Buffalo Bills to the playoffs for the first time in 18 years, but in the offseason, Buffalo decided to trade him away and draft Josh Allen. Tyrod had easily the best years of his career with the Bills, breaking a ton of franchise records during his 3-year tenure. He came to Buffalo without ever starting a game, but beat out Bills first-round pick EJ Manuel and veteran Matt Castle for the job. Almost out of nowhere, Tyrod was pretty damn good. He had a 99.4 passer rating and ended up making the Pro Bowl. Over his 3 years in Buffalo, he was a reliable starter, scoring 65 total touchdowns and only throwing 18 interceptions. Tyrod has plenty of highlight reel plays and was very impressive, but injuries just slowly ravaged him, and the Bills coaching staff was in a never-ending spiral of disappointment. Ultimately, Buffalo wanted to give Tyrod's 2017 backup a shot to start. Dude got traded because the Bills wanted to play Nathan Peterman. That's tough. Tyrod spent the first 4 years of his career in Baltimore. The Ravens drafted him in the 6th round of the 2011 draft, and he went on to back up Joe Flacco and secure a Super Bowl ring along the way. The craziest thing is that Tyrod wasn't just unlucky in the pros. Even in college at Virginia Tech, he got screwed. He got the chance to start for the Hokies as a freshman, but ended up suffering an ankle sprain and ultimately lost the job to Sean Glennon, who is more or less just known as Mike Glennon's older brother. If you guys don't already know, I'm actually a student at Virginia Tech, so everybody here already loves Tyrod Taylor, and he gets talked about pretty much no matter what he does in the NFL. From my personal experiences, I didn't grow up a Tech fan actually. I grew up a UVA fan.
You look like a snake! Ew!
Dude!
What the fuck?
Which is kind of funny that I'm here now.
But it's not funny. Nobody's laughing. It's not funny.
But still, I remember watching Tyrod Taylor during his prime here, and I mean, this guy was explosive. He wasn't quite Michael Vick, don't let anybody tell you that, but he was fun to watch, and that's exactly what he did in the NFL too, when he went to the Bills. In a way, he kind of got overlooked when he went to Baltimore. No one expects a 6th round quarterback who has to sit behind a veteran to really turn into much. Then the Bills give him a shot, and all of a sudden he wins the starting job and becomes one of the more more fun players to watch over the next 3 years. He definitely managed to get put in some of the worst possible situations. The Bills coaching staff just kept changing. It was a complete disaster. And of course, he continued to get injured. Since that, he's just continued to get unlucky, being replaced by rookie quarterbacks or getting hurt in whatever way. At the end of the day, Tyrod Taylor isn't an elite quarterback, but probably has been a top 32 quarterback in the NFL for years, but hasn't really had that opportunity to continue to start for a variety of reasons. Tyrod was explosive and one of the best quarterbacks in the country during his tenure at Virginia Tech, breaking a ton of school records, including career rushing yards by a quarterback, which was previously owned by Michael Vick. Tyrod started 41 total games for the Hokies and only lost 7 of them. His senior year, he led the Hokies to an undefeated record in ACC play, becoming the first team to accomplish the feat in over a decade. Tyrod had some very iconic moments in college, but none cemented his legacy more than the comeback. In 2009, the Hokies faced off against number 19 Nebraska at Lane Stadium and found themselves down 5 with 1:25 left and no timeouts. From his own 16-yard line, Tyrod stepped back to pass and surveyed the field before he found a wide-open Danny Cole streaking down the right sideline. Cole took it all the way down to the 2 before being pushed out of bounds, setting up one of the most iconic red zone drives in Virginia Tech history. On a desperate third down, Tyrod rolled out to the left before spending a while running around the pocket. With future second-round pick Ndamukong Suh pulling him down, Tyrod delivered a strike to Tyrell Roberts to bury the Cornhuskers.
Touchdown, Tyrell Roberts!
Based on his playstyle and his college decision, you could probably give a good guess of a player he looked up to: Michael Vick. Both are from the Virginia Beach area, commonly known as the 757, and you can see some of Vick in flashes of Tyrod's game. But he was definitely different in many ways. Tyrod was an elite runner, but somehow was still a game manager at the same time. He was going to make good decisions and help beat you with a scheme. Like, imagine if Alex Smith was mobile. That's Tyrod Taylor. I watched Davis Mills a lot during his final time at Stanford, and I do have to say that I am relatively interested in watching him play. This could be another situation where Tyrod Taylor loses his starting job to a different rookie quarterback. I'm not that sold on Davis Mills. I think it is going to take him some time, but when he was at Stanford, he did showcase a ton of talent of why he could potentially start in the NFL, and that's why the Texans took him at the draft. Overall, this is just really depressing for Texans fans because, you know, everybody's been talking about you guys all offseason and really just, bringing you guys down, saying how bad you're going to be without Deshaun Watson. And you kind of started off pretty hot. You had a chance to win that Browns game. You were tied at half before Tyrod went out, and now, it might be doomed this season. That being said, maybe Davis Mills turns into something great, or at the very least, Tyrod comes back and continues to spiral out some wins. Tyrod Taylor has had a roller coaster of a career. It's one thing to lose your starting job to a few rookie quarterbacks, but managing to lose it because your team doctor stabbed you in the lung is just insanity. And honestly, that's probably not even as bad as getting traded in favor of Nathan Peterman. It's really sad to see the way Tyrod's career has gone. A lot of people thought his career may have been a wrap after Los Angeles, but he had the Texans out to a good start. Now he's injured and in jeopardy of losing his starting job to a rookie indefinitely once again. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Go ahead and click right here, subscribe to the channel if you don't already. If you already do, because you're freaking awesome, then go ahead and click right here and watch another video. Also, make sure you follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter for more content all season long because the NFL season's back and you know we got you covered.